Hello, it's CEO here. It's been rumored that a new update for Animal Crossing New Horizons is right around the corner, so today, I'll be going over my predictions for what this update could include. Based on previous update releases, we can predict the next update will drop sometime within the last 2 weeks of April. This time frame is also based on the fact that we have some pretty significant events that were in the game last year that are coming up as well. Events like May Day, International Museum Day, and the wedding season event were all part of the game in 2020. But if you try to go to those events in 2021, they are inaccessible, which means an update must come out soon to put those events back into the game. You can still go back in time and set your Switch to 2020 to access these events, but it's certain these events will come back to New Horizons in 2021 in the same form as they were last year, or with minor updates added to them. Just like how Bunny Day for 2021 was updated with additional themed items to buy in Nook's Cranny. And with the first of these events starting on May 1st, it's pretty likely an update for New Horizons will be introduced very soon. May Day was an event we saw last year that lasted from May 1st to May 7th, and entailed visiting a special edition Mystery Island. Once you talked to Tom Nook in Resident Services, you were then able to access this unique island by talking with Orville in the airport. This special Mystery Island featured a maze with obstacles that your villager would have to maneuver to reach the end. Our beloved Rover would be at the end of the maze and would present to you a prize of Rover's briefcase. Until this event, Rover wasn't seen anywhere in New Horizons. In previous games, Rover would be one of the first NPCs your villager would interact with when you started a new game, and he was rather creepy. May Day received a lot of backlash since there was only one type of Mystery Island with one maze layout, which left players bored and wanting more. I hope with the next update, Nintendo introduces more mazes and more prizes to make this event a little more interesting for us and more of a minigame rather than a glorified way to get a limited edition item. Along with May Day, it's very likely International Museum Day will return with some much needed updates. Last year, this event ran from May 18th to May 31st and took place in your island's museum. Special stamp stations would be set up throughout the entire museum where you could collect stamps for your stamp card that you receive when you talk to Blathers. The stations could be found in each section of your museum, and players were able to collect 9 stamps in total. It is important to note that the art section wasn't added into the game yet during this event, so players were only able to find 3 stamps in each of the 3 areas of the museum: bugs, fish, and fossils. Once you got all the stamps for each of the sections, Blathers would award you with a golden bug, fish, and fossil plaque. The annoying thing about this event was players could easily get all 9 stamps and all 3 prizes in just one day, yet the event lasted for 2 weeks. Nintendo probably did this to accommodate players who didn't play every day, but for daily players, this event got old real fast. And in May of 2020, Animal Crossing New Horizons had only been out for a little over a month, so lots of players were still playing every day. I'm hoping in the update we see some more features added to this event, including more interactivity and less of a watered-down scavenger hunt. The museum in this game is gorgeous, and Nintendo can do so much with it. Instead of stamps, they could have villager hide-and-seek as a way to get players to explore the museum, or have Celeste be part of the event, since we rarely see her anymore. And the art section is now in the game, which means this event will have to be updated to include it, which will be a welcome addition. It does appear Nintendo is using these drip-feed Animal Crossing updates to continuously improve the events in New Horizons, which I appreciate. So I would be very surprised if the International Museum Day event isn't modified at all. I'm also guessing more items will be added into the game with the upcoming update. Nintendo has been adding seasonal items to the game via Nook Shopping over the past year. Most recently, items for April Fool's Day, Prom, ceomg Day, and Nature Day have been added. But after that, we have no more seasonal items. This means it's extremely likely more rounds of seasonal items will be introduced when the update drops, and I will have all those items available for players to take on my treasure islands. I open my treasure islands for YouTube members, and more information about how to become a member and access these treasure islands is in the description. Another indicator an update will drop is the fact that the first Nook Shopping seasonal item, the Mother's Day mug, was released on May 1st, 2020. But if you go to May 1st, 2021, that item is nowhere to be found in Nook Shopping. In fact, the whole seasonal tab in Nook Shopping is just straight up missing. This means an update must come out soon to add this item back into the game, or else players who started after May of 2020 simply won't be able to get this item anymore. Along with updates to items and events we saw in the game in 2020, I expect we will also get some brand new content as well. I have been watching a lot of Animal Crossing New Leaf streams lately, and I am shocked just how much functionality and features were left out of New Horizons that were featured in previous games. I played so much New Leaf, but it wasn't until I revisited the game that made me see just how much New Horizons is missing. With the May update, I theorize we will see the addition of Shrunk, since there is a sticker reaction that's already in the game called the Shrunk Shuffle. This axolotl NPC was found in New Leaf as the comedian who would tell bad jokes and give you reactions in return. It makes no sense why Shrunk wouldn't return, and I hear from many of you in my live streams you would love to see an axolotl in the game. Maybe Shrunk will make his return and he'll have a cute axolotl family with him. And I mean, he already has a New Horizons game render, so why wouldn't he be put into the game? Just look how HD he is compared to his render from New Leaf. Why would Nintendo put in all the effort to make this if they had no intention to add him back into the game? With the deserted island nature of New Horizons, it's hard to add buildings and designated areas for NPCs, which is probably why we see Leaf and LaBelle merely visit in the plaza, while in previous games, they had their own themed stores. Maybe Shrunk will return for weekly performances in the plaza like KK Slider, or commission his own seaplane that docks at your fishing dock when he visits your island. Either way, I hope Shrunk makes a return soon. I also 100% think Brewster will return in New Horizons, but I don't think it will happen with this next update. Nintendo is going to drag out his return for as long as possible, so I say get ready for the long haul. We already know Brewster has a cafe that is coded into the game as part of the museum, so I am certain he will have a cozy home with blathers. The museum already has some pretty good areas where an entrance to Brewster's cafe could go, notably in the main room of the fossil area. To the left even looks like a door that could be a hint for his cafe, or even to the right, which has a nice blank wall, perfect for slapping a cafe into. And going downstairs for the cafe would fall in line with previous Animal Crossing games such as Wild World and City Folk, where the roost was in the basement of the museum. Maybe his cafe's entrance will be in the art or fossil area of the museum to make it extra hidden, but all the more special for players to find. I just know Nintendo would not leave out a character as beloved as Brewster, but we may just not see him for a while. Let me know in the comments what you want to see the most in the next New Horizons update. I'm also curious to see how my predictions line up with the actual update, and I think we will find out very, very soon. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.